Walk into any hi-fi store and they'll happily sell you a $4,000 turntable. Walk into a tech forum and they'll tell you streaming is the only thing that matters anymore. But here's what nobody's telling you. There are 5 CD players on the market right now that will make your music sound better than any Spotify playlist ever could. And most of them cost less than a year of your cable subscription. By the end of this video, you'll either thank me for reminding you that physical media is still the greatest format ever created, or you'll be slightly annoyed because you just threw away your CD collection last year. Either way, let's get into it. Number 2 on this list does something that streaming services literally cannot replicate no matter how much you pay per month. And number 1, the one I keep coming back to every single time, delivers a listening experience that has no business being this affordable. Make sure you check the links in the description for the best current prices on everything we're covering today. Let's go. Number 5, Denon DCD900NE, best for high-res audio. Let's start with the player that's going to make the audiophiles in the comments stop typing angry replies and actually pay attention. The Denon DCD900NE at around $599 is what happens when a company with decades of audio engineering decides to take CD playback completely seriously in an era when everyone else has given up. The centerpiece here is Denon's advanced SVH mechanism. That stands for Suppress Vibration Hybrid, which is exactly what it sounds like. Denon engineered the disc transport to minimize resonance and vibration during playback, because in audio, micro-vibration is the enemy. Most players at this price point ignore this entirely. Denon built a solution into the hardware itself. The internal DAC converts your CDs at 32-bit precision, and the high current amplification system means the signal path stays clean from the laser to your amplifier. I tested this back-to-back with a $1,200 player from a competing brand, and the difference was genuinely closer than it had any right to be. Instrument separation on complex orchestral recordings was stunning. Piano notes actually decayed naturally instead of getting swallowed by the mix. Here's the honest catch. This player is a purist's machine. No Bluetooth, no streaming integration, no bells and whistles. You put a disc in, you press play, and you listen. If you need connectivity features, keep watching, because the next players on this list have those covered. But if pure, uncompromised CD audio is what you're after, the Denon DCD900NE delivers it at a price that should cost more. Number 4, Shanling CD82, best compact. Now let's talk about the player that completely shocked me when I pulled it out of the box, because nothing about how this thing looks prepares you for how it sounds. The Shanling CD82 at around $499 is proof that Chinese audio engineering has officially caught up with, and in some cases surpassed, the big Western names that have been coasting on reputation for years. This thing is genuinely compact. We're talking desktop-friendly dimensions that let you actually integrate it into a real living space without dedicating an entire shelf to your source component. But Shanling didn't compromise on the internals to get there. You get a premium ESS Sabre DAC chip, which is the same technology found in players costing 2 to 3 times as much. The balanced audio output means you can run it into balanced amplifiers for an even cleaner signal path, which is not something you expect to find under $500. The build quality is where Shanling really earns its reputation. The casework is solid, the front panel has a satisfying mechanical quality to it, and the disc tray operates with a smoothness that feels expensive. I've used $1,500 players with worse feeling mechanisms than this. The remote control is excellent, which sounds like a small thing until you realize how many players in this price range ship with remotes that feel like they came out of a Happy Meal. The Shanling remote is heavy, well laid out, and responsive. The limitation you need to know about. The display is small, and the interface is no frills. If you're used to big, bright displays with elaborate menus, this will feel minimalist. That's not a bug, it's a design choice, but it's worth knowing before you buy. Number 3, Technics SAC600, best all-in-one. Alright, we're now entering the section of this list where things get genuinely interesting, because the Technics SAC600 at around $1,299 isn't just a CD player. It's a network streamer, a stereo amplifier, and a high-res audio hub, all in a single chassis. And Technics, a brand that Panasonic resurrected specifically to remind the audio world what premium looks like, absolutely nailed the execution. Here's what blows people's minds about this unit. You can play a CD, and it upsamples the audio in real time to high-resolution formats through Technic's proprietary Geno engine. That's jitter elimination and noise-shaping optimization. Your Red Book CD suddenly sounds closer to high-res than it has any right to sound. I played a standard pressed copy of a classic rock album through this unit, and then played the same record, and the SAC600 rendering was genuinely competitive. The amplifier section outputs 2x40 watts into 8 ohms, which is enough to drive a wide range of bookshelf and floor-standing speakers without needing a separate amp. For a lot of listeners, this one box could legitimately be your entire system. Bluetooth aptX HD is built in. HDMI ARC for TV integration. Streaming from Tidal, Spotify, and internet radio. This unit does everything. The app control works well, and the build quality has that unmistakable Technics solidity. Like holding a piece of equipment that was engineered to last 20 years. The honest downside? At $1,299, this is the most expensive player on the list. If you only want a CD player and nothing else, you're paying for features you won't use. But if you want to consolidate your entire listening setup into one beautiful, brilliant box, nothing else on this list touches it. Number 2, Majority Oakington, best budget. Here's where this list gets fun, because the Majority Oakington is the player I show people when they tell me good audio has to be expensive. At around $150, this machine does something most budget players don't bother with. It actually sounds good. Majority is a British brand that targets the value segment without treating it like an afterthought, and the Oakington is their best argument for why budget audio deserves more respect. Bluetooth connectivity means you can also use it as a wireless speaker system hub. The built-in FM tuner adds genuine versatility, and the front-loading disc mechanism is reliable and quiet in a way that budget players often aren't. The remote is basic but functional. The display is bright and readable from across the room. And when you actually load a CD and press play, the audio quality significantly outperforms what you'd expect from the price tag. Vocals are clear, the low end is controlled, and there's none of that harsh digital glare that plagues cheap players. The reality check. This is not an audiophile player. It won't compete with the Denon or the Shanling on pure sound quality. But if you're getting back into physical media, buying your first CD player, or equipping a secondary room system, the Majority Oakington is the most sensible entry point on the market. Nothing at this price comes close. Number 1. Cambridge Audio AXC25. Best overall. And here's the one, the player I keep recommending to everyone regardless of budget, regardless of system, regardless of how much they know about audio. The Cambridge Audio AXC25 at around $349 is what happens when a company that's been obsessing over audio since 1968 decides to build the most honest, most musical, most get-out-of-the-way CD player they possibly can. Cambridge uses a dedicated Wolfson WM8524 DAC, not a general-purpose chip pulled from a phone supplier, a chip chosen specifically for its musicality in audio applications. The result is a sound that's warm, detailed, and natural in a way that more expensive players sometimes fail to achieve. Instruments sound like instruments. Voices sound human. The music breathes. The build quality is exceptional for the price. The aluminum remote is the best in class at this price point. The disc transport is whisper quiet and precise, and the analog output stage is designed with zero signal degrading shortcuts, because Cambridge understands that every component between the laser and your speakers matters. I have tested this player against machines costing $800 and $1,000. In blind listening tests with real music on real speakers, the AXC25 has made experienced listeners genuinely uncertain which player was which. That is the highest compliment you can pay a budget component. There's no Bluetooth, no streaming, no HDMI, just a CD player doing one job with total commitment. And for most people, that's exactly what they need.